showing the love for your people, treating them like friends. That's been a huge, huge thing for us. You really want to build an amazing business is hire smarter people. Entrepreneurs have big egos. We all do. We all want to grow and build something special. But I think something I certainly struggled with in the earlier days is hiring smarter people because I thought I was so smart. But you know what? I realize, like you mentioned, we all have our weaknesses and there's some pretty big gaps in what I do. So what I did is I brought on a guy named Eric Church about 8 years ago. And I hope the guy's around forever. He's an amazing friend and an amazing president and COO of our business. He and Cameron were actually fraternity brothers years ago. And what Eric did is I realized by bringing someone so much smarter into the group, so much better at hiring, at execution, at planning, at strategy. I mean, the guy's a genius. He loves to do the things that I'm really, really bad at. And there's a big list of things that I'm bad at. He's made my company much more exceptional. Now, Eric would also say, there's things that he's not great at that Brian balances him out on. And so it really is this two in the box leadership model that's really worked for us. But Eric is one of those guys who has no ego and challenge with bringing in smarter people than him. And it's a model that's worked for us. And I think that most entrepreneurs and most leaders in businesses are afraid of hiring smarter people, but it really is gold if you figure it out. Not everybody succeeds in a franchise organization. The top franchise owners, I think what we do well with is two things. One, we have a head coach. We have an actual coaching department here where we provide coaching and direction to our franchise owners. And it's a pretty sophisticated level of coaching that we provide. So no matter what financial growth numbers people are at, they can make use of our coaching program. But the other thing is we help them help each other. So we're always on the lookout for, what is your problem? Oh, I know someone within the system who solved that. Let's connect you to and let's have some peer-to-peer support. The system, our whole franchise system for 1-800-GOT-JUNK, for Wow One Day Painting, for Shack Shine, these weren't created by me. These weren't all created by our entire teams. They were created by our franchise partners, and we've been really good at pulling people together to help them find the answers of the missing system that they need to really grow to the next level. Something we focused on doing is treating people like friends. Do they trust us? Do we trust them? Do we work together? Do we have each other's backs? Our values are as O2E is piped: passion, integrity, professionalism, and empathy. And the empathy, to touch on, is very important. That's putting ourselves in our franchise partner's shoes and saying, you know what, we feel for you. We know you're going through a hard time. You're not profitable yet. You're growing. Hey, we might have made a mistake and we've got to take ownership for. So I think that having that empathy and showing the love for your people, treating them like friends, that's been a huge, huge thing for us. So rather than give them a title, yes, they're franchise partners, but they're also friends. Do you want to cook French cuisine? Do you want to cook some Asian fusion? I mean, someone who can follow a recipe and do step by step the process, that's what it takes to be successful. And so we try and empower our franchise candidates to look at this and say, it's junk removal. Who cares? It's painting. It doesn't matter. We're not looking for people to pick up a brush and paint homes. We're looking for people to build a business empire. We're looking for people that come in and learn and understand the business, but can then grow and scale it. Franchise partners will tell us over and over and over, Brian or team, you've changed my life. And I'll say, I haven't changed your life. You've changed your own life. So you take someone like Paul Guy, who starts in Toronto, who has one truck, drives it from Vancouver. Our head office, becomes the first franchise partner and drives it across the country to Toronto to start the business, and does $1 million in revenue in his first full calendar year, builds a $16 million empire, and then all his other brands. He borrowed $25,000 from his brother as a line of credit. He didn't have a penny to his name. His life has changed. He's got 4 lovely kids and a wife, and he's built this awesome, special life with freedom, the finances, and so on. He believes his life has changed because of the opportunity that he took. And he's right. It wasn't us changing the life of Paul Guy. So if I look at that, I go, that's impact. Or you can take someone on a smaller scale who started later than Paul Guy, who was working in the trucks, a guy, Josh Heron, in Kansas City. And Josh gets out there, works in the trucks, ends up buying into the franchise, and today owns franchises also across the country. And I think that they've got a $30 million empire today. He and I did a podcast together about his story.
Hmm.
But here's somebody that just never really knew that he had the power in him to really build a business. He's now bringing other entrepreneurs into his world. And I remember when he was last up here, Josh sent me a text after saying, "Hey, great visit with you, Brian. Thank you again. This has changed my life." So to me, that's the ultimate testimonial. If someone can say you've changed their lives, and ultimately you and I know, especially from the fitness world, they've changed their own
Yeah.
life. That's the ultimate sort of sign of impact.